Welcome back to the Deep Dive. I'm your host, and today we've got a mission that I think is going to hit close to home for a lot of you out there. We are trying to uncover the hidden root of a problem that just causes absolute panic in the automotive industry.
And I'm our resident industry expert, and yeah, panic is honestly the perfect word for it. We're talking about low customer satisfaction index scores, or CSI, as everyone calls it.
Right, CSI. Because we all know the scene, right? A customer buys a car, the manufacturer survey goes out, and suddenly the whole dealership is on edge.
Oh, totally. You've got salespeople basically begging for perfect scores. Managers are watching the results roll in like it's the stock market.
Yeah, and then inevitably, when the scores drop, the employee who physically handed over the keys gets all the blame.
Which is just, I mean, it's entirely the wrong way to look at it. It's this really old, outdated way of thinking.
So if it's not the salesperson's fault, what are we looking at here?
Well, the data we're diving into today shows that the CSI score doesn't begin when the survey hits the customer's inbox. It actually begins the very first time that customer sees an ad.
Wow. Okay, so way upstream. We are going to unpack exactly how that works, but real quick. This podcast is brought to you by DeskReadyLeads.com. If your dealership is tired of leads with no context, no intent, and no real reason to buy, it may be time for a different approach. Visit DeskReadyLeads.com to see how we can help your dealership generate better conversations with buyers who actually have a reason to engage.
And, generating better conversations is such a great pivot point for this because, well, bad conversations and bad CSI scores generally start with a broken promise.
A broken promise. I like that phrasing. Explain what you mean by that.
Okay, so think about what CSI actually stands for, Customer Satisfaction Index. But at its core, it's not really measuring satisfaction with the coffee in the waiting room. It's an expectation versus reality score.
Right. What did they think was going to happen versus what actually happened?
Exactly. Marketing in a dealership isn't just there to generate raw demand or get clicks. It's actually setting an emotional contract with the buyer.
Oh, an emotional contract. That's heavy.
It is. And when the physical store breaks that contract, when the reality doesn't match the expectation, the survey score you get at the end is really just the receipt for that broken promise.
You know, it makes me think of going to the movies. Like, think about going to see a movie where the trailer promised this, hilarious, laugh out loud summer comedy.
Right, you've got your popcorn, you're ready to laugh.
Exactly. And you sit down, and the movie is actually this beautifully shot, incredibly tragic drama.
Oh, man.
I mean, it might be an objectively great movie, but you leave the theater completely angry because your expectation was totally violated.
That is a perfect analogy.
Yeah.
What we're seeing in the industry right now is that dealerships are constantly making trailers for comedies, but their operations are delivering dramas.
So they're accidentally writing these bad emotional contracts. How exactly are they doing that? Because I don't think dealers are out there intentionally trying to mislead people.
No, they aren't. But they fall into these very specific advertising traps to get lead volume. And there are three big ones we need to talk about. The first one is payment advertising.
Oh, yeah. The flashy $199 a month or $0 down ads. You see them everywhere.
Everywhere. And look, the payment usually is technically possible, but the trap is the missing context.
Right, the fine print.
Exactly. The ad says $199 a month, but it leaves out that you need Tier 1 credit, $5,000 down, and it's on a base model with no features.
So the customer comes in anchored to $199, and reality hits them like a ton of bricks.
Right, and they feel bait and switched. Even if they end up buying the car, the emotional contract is broken. The fix here is just advertising responsibly. Just say, payments from $199 a month for qualified buyers. Let's check your options.
It changes the tone from a guarantee to a conversation.
Exactly. Which leads us to the second big trap, credit messaging.
The all credit approved banners.
Yes, and I get why they do it. It creates hope. But approved means something very different to a buyer than it does to a bank.
Oh, for sure. A buyer thinks approved means I get the exact car I want today at a normal interest rate.
And the bank might mean, sure, you're approved, but you need a cosigner, or a huge down payment, or we're forcing you into an older car.
Which just ends in complete embarrassment for the customer sitting in the showroom.
It's awful.
Yeah.
And embarrassed customers do not give perfect CSI scores.
No, they definitely do. Okay, what's the third trap?
Trades. Trade-ins are where things get incredibly emotional.
Oh, yeah. People take their cars very personally. Like, say a customer expects $28,000 for their trade based on some online tool, and the desk offers 22,500. They don't just feel disappointed, they feel insulted.
Insulted is the word. And the J.D. Power 2025 Sales Satisfaction Index study actually dug into this specifically.
Oh, really? What did they find?
They found that satisfaction with the deal drops off a cliff if trade-in justification isn't provided.
Wait, justification. Not just the number, but the why behind the number.
Exactly. Transparency before the appraisal is actually a marketing function. If your marketing explains upfront, hey, our values depend on market demand, reconditioning costs, and real-time auction data, you save the survey.
Because you set the expectation that it's a math equation, not a personal attack on their car.
Precisely. You're insulating the transaction.
Okay, so let's say a dealership listens to this. They clean up the ads. The marketing is honest. The customer clicks the ad, feels good, and sets an appointment. We're good, right?
Well, not quite. That's when we enter the danger zone of operations, the handoff.
The handoff from the BDC, the Business Development Center, to the showroom floor.
Yes, and this is where things snap.
It reminds me of going to the doctor. You know when you sit in the exam room and the nurse comes in and you tell them your entire medical history? Every symptom, when it started, what hurts.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this.
Right. And then 10 minutes later, the doctor walks in, looks at you, and says, so what brings you in today?
It instantly kills your trust.
Yeah.
You just think, did you guys not talk to each other?
Exactly. And that is exactly what happens in dealerships.
It really is. The BDC agent gets all the info target payment, credit issues, trade status, but then the note in the CRM just says, customer interested in SUV.
So the floor salesperson walks up completely blind.
Right, and the customer has to repeat everything. It creates massive friction before they even look at a car.
And I imagine this gets magnified during those huge sales events, right? Like the Memorial Day blowout or the payment-free summer.
Oh, absolutely. Because a sales event isn't just an ad campaign. It's an operational promise.
Right.
If marketing runs this massive campaign, but the showroom floor is completely clueless, like they don't have scripts, they don't know the disclaimers, the featured vehicles aren't pulled up front, it destroys the illusion.
It's like throwing a party but forgetting to tell the host.
Yeah. If the event only exists in a Facebook ad, it is not a real event. It's just a massive CSI risk.
Okay, so let's say the marketing is perfect. The handoff is flawless. The sale goes through. Everybody is happy. Paperwork is signed. The dealership is finally out of the woods, right?
You'd think so. But the journey after the paperwork is where the easiest points are lost.
Really? Even after they buy it?
Think about the delivery process. Buying a modern car is completely overwhelming. They're basically tech-heavy computers on wheels now.
Oh, totally. You've just spent 3 hours negotiating. You signed your life away in the finance office. You're exhausted.
Right. And then someone rushes you through a 20-minute explanation of the infotainment system or, EV charging curves.
You remember none of it.
None of it. And again, the J.D. Power 2025 data is super clear on this. More than half of buyers receive absolutely zero post-delivery follow-up.
Wait, really? More than half? They just get the keys and they're ghosted.
Ghosted. And that is a huge missed opportunity for marketing. You need a post-sales sequence.
What does that look like?
Super simple, automated texts or emails. Day 1. Hey, here's a video on how to set up the mobile app. Day 3, here are 2 features you might have missed. Day 14, let's get your first service appointment scheduled.
Speaking of service, because that's a whole other beast, how does CSI work in the service department? Because honestly, a $20 off oil change coupon doesn't really help me if I'm stressed that my transmission is making a grinding noise.
Right, because service marketing has to answer anxiety-driven questions.
Okay, like what?
Like, can I get a loaner? Will you actually text me updates, or do I have to call you 4 times? The 2025 J.D. Power Customer Service Index flagged this heavily. Appointment wait times and communication gaps are the biggest limiters for service scores right now.
Communication softens the blow of the delay.
Exactly. If you tell me it's going to be 3 days and you keep me updated, I'm okay. If you say it'll be a few hours and I don't hear from you for 3 days, I'm furious.
And the competition is getting fierce, right? I saw something in the notes about the 2026 J.D. Power study.
Yeah, the 2026 study shows traditional dealers aren't just competing with the independent shop down the street anymore. They're competing with direct-to-consumer brands.
Like Tesla and Rivian.
Right. Brands that offer entirely new standards, like mobile service, where they come to your driveway. So if legacy dealers want to keep their CSI high, they have to use communication to bridge that gap.
Okay, so we've diagnosed the entire timeline here, from the first ad to the handoff to the delivery to service. How does a dealership actually fix this sinking ship?
Well, It starts by changing how they ask for the survey in the first place. They have to stop the begging.
Oh man, the begging. We all know the speech. Hey, anything less than a 10 is a failing grade. Please, if you can't give me a 10, call me directly.
It's so uncomfortable for the customer. It just feels desperate.
It totally does. You're basically putting the burden on the customer to protect an employee's paycheck.
Exactly. It's the wrong approach. The solution is shifting to a feedback-first process.
Feedback first. How does
Yeah.
that work?
You text the customer before the manufacturer survey ever arrives. Just a simple message asking if anything feels unresolved.
Catch the problem before it becomes a bad grade.
Right. And then, this is the crucial part, you use those complaints not to yell at the sales staff, but to audit your marketing.
Ah, so if people keep complaining about trade values, you go fix the trade-in ad.
Exactly.
But let me play devil's advocate here for a second. Let's say I'm a dealer principal. If I make all my marketing super honest and realistic and full of context, won't my lead volume drop? I mean, overpromising gets clicks.
I mean, yes. I'll be honest, it might reduce your raw top-of-funnel clicks.
So why do it?
Because the leads you lose are the ones that were going to result in friction, blown deals, and bad surveys anyway. What you gain is trust.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Mm.
The best marketing playbook is incredibly simple. Stop overpromising. Audit every ad, every handoff, every appointment confirmation. Make sure you are only setting expectations that your store can actually honor.
That is such a powerful takeaway. CSI isn't a score you chase at the end of a transaction. It's an experience you literally design from the very first click.
From the very first click.
Well, this has been an incredibly eye-opening deep dive. To everyone listening, I will leave you with one final thought to sort of mull over on your own.
Oh, let's hear it.
Think about the last time you left a scathing review for a product or a restaurant or some kind of service. Think really hard about it. Were you actually angry at the product itself?
Sure.
Or were you just punishing them for breaking an expectation that their own marketing created?
That's a great point.
It really makes you think. So next time you see an ad, don't just look at the offer. Ask yourself, what emotional contract are they asking me to sign? Thanks for joining us, everyone. We'll see you on the next deep dive.